What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, January 30th, 2025, and I have an emergency update to share with you guys. Right now it is 13:39 Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to update you guys on the situation with the plane crash in DC. So if you're not aware, last night an American Airlines plane, while trying to land at Reagan Airport over the Potomac River, crashed into a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. And we looked at the video footage last night in the live stream. And based on the video footage, the plane was doing everything right. It was flying normally like it would as it was descending towards the runway at Reagan Airport. It was crossing over the Potomac River, and then on the plane's starboard side, this U.S. Army Black Hawk came out of nowhere and just crashed right into it. And I was telling you guys that that doesn't make any sense. And now the president of the U.S., Donald Trump, is basically confirming what I said last night, and that's that something was off about this, okay? Because these helicopters, when they fly in that area, they know that this is a landing zone, that planes are coming in to land, and they shouldn't be at that altitude because that's where planes are descending to land on the runway. So something was wrong there. Plus, the helicopter could have slowed down. It could have increased its altitude or decreased its altitude or turn. You know, U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopters can turn on a dime. And why didn't this helicopter do that? We don't know. But I want to just share with you what Trump said today during the press conference this morning about this situation. And also I want to share with you what Pete Hegseth said. Pete Hegseth is the Department of Defense Secretary. And he said that this Black Hawk was on a continuity of government training mission, which is very interesting because continuity of government is basically relocating the president and VIPs in the event of a nuclear war or some kind of a catastrophic event where they have to relocate the leadership of the U.S. to secure facilities. So this Black Hawk was on a continuity of government training exercise. But this is what Trump posted late last night. He wrote, "The airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport, just like I said. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It is a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. Not good." And I want you to watch Pete Hegseth here. His body language looks a little bit weird. It could mean something, it could mean nothing, but he looks a little bit nervous here. Let me just play this for you.
Found out about this. We were in contact with the White House trying to determine exactly what happened. I would echo it as well. No excuses. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We first and foremost from the Defense Department want to pass our condolences to the 64 souls and their families that were affected by this. Never should happen. And certainly the three service members, the three soldiers, a young captain, staff sergeant, and a CW2, chief warrant officer, on a routine annual retraining of night flights on a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission.
So he kind of looks a little bit nervous, in my opinion. I've worked in various jobs where I've had to analyze people's body language. And his body language, he just looked a little bit nervous, kind of stumbling over words. He's not really like smooth in the way he's speaking. And he mispronounces continuity of government, which is surprising for somebody who was in the military. You know, you should know exactly how to pronounce continuity of government, but he was like stumbling over it. Let me play that for you again.
On a standard corridor for a continuity of government mission. for a continuity of government mission. For a continuity of government mission. The military does dangerous things. It does.
So, I'm not saying that, 100%, he's nervous or whatever, but his body language just looks like he's kind of nervous, or I don't know if it's because it's his first press conference maybe, or maybe he knows something that we don't know or that Trump doesn't know. But it's very interesting that he was stumbling over the pronunciation of continuity of government. Being a former soldier himself, he would know how to pronounce that. But let me just play for you what Trump said. It's very interesting what Trump said here.
Do you have a sense of who was at fault, if it was the plane, the helicopter, air traffic control, and can you assure people that it is safe to fly in and out of D.C.?
Well, I've given you the analysis, and the analysis was it was based on vision. You had a lot of people that saw what was happening. You had some people that knew what was happening. There was some warnings, but the warnings were given very, very late. Those warnings were given very late. It was almost as they were given. A few seconds later, there was the crash. It should have been brought up earlier. But the people in the helicopter should have seen where they were going. I can't imagine people with 20/20 vision not seeing, what's happening up there. Again, they shouldn't have been at the same height. You're going in reverse directions or sideways directions. Obviously, you want to be at different heights. I see it all the time when I'm flying. You have planes going in the opposite. They're always lower. We're higher. So if somehow there's a screw up, there's not going to be a tragedy. It'll be close. But, there's never going to be a tragedy if you're at a different elevation. For whatever reason, they were at the same elevation. And also, from the American Airlines standard, he's along the track that every plane is along. You say, what was a helicopter doing in that track?
Exactly. That's what I was saying last night.
Very sad. But visually, somebody should have been able to see and taken that helicopter out of play, and they should have been at a different height.
So, very, very interesting.
Standpoint of the helicopter, because it was visual. It was a very clear night. It was cold, but clear, and clear as you could be. The American Airlines plane had lights blazing. They had all of their landing lights on. I could see it from the Kennedy Center tape. We had a tape up on the Kennedy Center. That seems to be the primary. Thus far, I'm sure we'll see other tapes because it's such an area where there are a lot of cameras looking up into the air, into space. So we'll probably see many other shots of it before too much time goes by. But we had a situation where you had a helicopter that had the ability to stop. I have helicopters. You can stop a helicopter very quickly. It had the ability to go up or down. It had the ability to turn. And the turn it made was not the correct turn, obviously.
So there you guys have it. The president saying that this helicopter should never have been there, that they have the ability to turn, they can go up or down. So this is a very strange situation. And then here we have actual footage from the screen of an air traffic controller showing the radar here. And on the bottom, you can see the path of the American Airlines plane, and on the top, the path of the Black Hawk. And then just to the left, these lines here are the runways at Reagan Airport, and you'll see that they also have collision alerts going off. So remember, planes and helicopters, they have collision warning systems, okay? So the collision warning systems would have been going off like crazy for a long time before they even got close to each other. But here you can see them approaching each other. And then you see the CA blinking there, the orange CA collision alert. Okay, so the Black Hawk is still going on its course, and the American Airlines plane is still going on its course. And then you can see the Black Hawk hits the American Airlines plane on its starboard side. Okay, right there. You can see that. Basically T-bones it. Okay, so very, very unusual situation. Also, we're hearing that 2 Russian figure skating world champions were on this plane. and that also there were as many as 14 figure skaters from the U.S. figure skating team on this plane as well. Very unusual. And right now we have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert. There's encrypted data being transmitted since last night when this happened. Encrypted data started being transmitted on the primary U.S. nuclear war frequency. This is the frequency that U.S. nuclear forces use to communicate, to send out nuclear attack options and even launch orders. Okay, so there's encrypted data being transmitted. It's still being transmitted right now. If you want to listen to our nuclear forces, you can listen to my live stream. I have my own antenna and radio piped into the live stream so you can listen. But very, very strange situation. We also have two B-52 nuclear bombers airborne over Louisiana. They both took off from Shreveport, which is home of Barksdale Air Force Base. And for some reason this afternoon, we have 4 P-8 Poseidon sub-hunters off the coast of Florida. This is extremely unusual. They could be looking for either a Russian sub or potentially cartels, human traffickers, drug smugglers, I don't know, but these planes are specifically designed to detect submarines underwater, and there's 4 of them off the coast of Florida for some reason. And we had a massive amount of reconnaissance over Poland last night. We had a NATO AWACS plane with 3 aerial refuelers in northwest Poland, plus a British recon plane and a U.S. recon plane patrolling around Kaliningrad. And then we also had a B-52 airborne last night just north of Las Vegas with an AWACS plane, a rivet joint, and a refueler. It appears they got scrambled up into the air when this plane crash happened. They also moved a Doomsday plane to D.C. last night, but it doesn't appear they put Trump on that Doomsday plane, so that means that there's no threat to the president. And then we have a sub-hunter that went out into the Atlantic here off the coast of New Jersey. This is like the 3rd or 4th day in a row that they've sent sub-hunters out here to this area of the Atlantic near the Hudson Canyon off the coast of Long Island and New Jersey. So something is going on over here for them to be constantly sending sub-hunters to this area the last couple of days, probably Russian subs. And then here we have a closer look at the recon over Poland and Lithuania last night. Massive reconnaissance. You can see the AWACS plane here just to the south of Gdańsk. And then you can see here Jake 17, which is a U.S. RC-135 rivet joint patrolling the Polish-Russian border. And then the British recon plane patrolling the Lithuanian-Russian border. So something is definitely brewing over here. And then we also had a Russian airborne communications post scrambled into the air last night as well. It took off from Moscow, went quickly up into the air, and then it landed again. So that means something spooked the Russians last night. And then we had a Swedish recon plane patrolling the border of Finland and Russia. And then here we have more reconnaissance in the Baltic and Poland. You can see a German sub-hunter in the Baltic here. And then last night we had massive recon in Asia. Here we have some recon planes in South Korea and an American refueler. But what's very concerning is for the 2nd day in a row, a Chinese recon plane has been patrolling the coast of China here, right opposite of Taiwan, along the Taiwan Strait. Okay, so 2nd day in a row, this Chinese recon plane patrolling the Taiwan Strait. That is very concerning. We had more recon in the Middle East last night. 2 American recon drones here. One flew into the Arabian Peninsula and turned its tracker off, and then one was patrolling the coast of Lebanon. And Ukrainian forces struck an oil pumping station that supplies oil to Europe last night. On the night of January 29th, 2025, Ukrainian forces reportedly launched drone strikes targeting the Druzhba pipeline pumping stations in the Bryansk region of Russia. These attacks have led to fires at facilities near Mamai and Novozhybkov. The Druzhba pipeline is crucial for oil delivery from Russia to Europe, particularly affecting countries like Hungary, which relies on this supply. Also, Ukrainian drones targeted a nuclear power plant in Russia on Tuesday night in Smolensk, and the Ukrainian NYPrepper military administration is now urging residents in Dnipropetrovsk in the frontline areas to evacuate, and for those who remain to be prepared for any situation. So Russia is quickly advancing in the Pokrovsk direction, and so people living in that area are being urged to evacuate. So very bad situation for Ukraine over there. It's possible Russia could even go all the way to the city of Dnipro, which would be really bad. And Russian intelligence services are apparently paying thousands of euros for a disinformation campaign ahead of the presidential elections in Poland, which are in May. And Lithuanian border guards discovered a 25-meter underground tunnel coming from Belarus, and apparently this is for smuggling of who knows what, people, drugs, weapons, but they have a picture that they released here. Okay, you can see this well-constructed tunnel underneath the border of Lithuania and Belarus, and they showed a picture of where this tunnel was located, and they have a little dot here showing where the tunnel is located. It's in the town of Pasalkis. Okay, so very concerning situation. And Trump said he's going to sign an executive order that will house 30,000 migrants in Guantanamo Bay. Wow, 30,000 migrants. Absolutely insane. And in Slovakia, a Ukrainian citizen was detained in connection with an alleged threat of a coup, according to police chief Jana Maskarova. Slovak law enforcement intends to deport the man as soon as possible, and the Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico called Zelensky an enemy of Slovakia. So a lot of things going on, guys. Ukraine striking the Druzhba pipeline pumping station. That is absolutely huge. And then targeting that nuclear power plant. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I might be back later on tonight with more breaking news. Guys, I just want to let you know that YouTube is now shadow banning my channel, and they're shadow banning alternative news and conservative news like myself, preppers, gun channels, conservatives, etc. So do not rely on recommendations or notifications from YouTube, okay? Please just search my channel out. Just type in NYPrepper or at NYPrepper. Pull my channel up and make sure you haven't missed an update. Do not rely on them, because a lot of creators besides myself have noticed their views drop since the new year, and there's a new community guidelines policy coming out for channels like mine that cover breaking news. Okay, so they want to crack down on people that cover breaking news, and especially conservatives, okay? So I don't know what's going to happen, but don't rely on YouTube. I'm in the process of making an app, and it should be out very soon in the coming days. First, it's going to come out on Android. It's totally free. You can download it from the Google Play Store. And then hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll have it out for Apple. And this app will just basically allow me to push alerts out to you guys and let you know when I have a video out, or if anything breaking is happening. You can get alerts. You can set a threshold on the app so you get like a little alarm on your phone, and if something's going on, I can push that out to you, okay? And you can set what level you want the alarms at. If you only want it out like really serious emergencies, or if you want it for more routine uploads, you can decide for yourself, okay? But I'm going to be releasing that very soon. Again, totally free. Follow me on Telegram and Twitter. Also consider signing up for my Patreon if you want to support me. And you can watch all my videos on Patreon ad-free, because there's no ads on Patreon. You pay a monthly subscription service, so there's no ads in the video itself. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Thanks for all the love and support, and maybe I'll be back later. Check out my 24/7 stream, and until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video.